Well met, Rook.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dread Wolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solus and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solus spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solus's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dread Wolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
So, if Mythal was originally a spirit, maybe that's how she survived her body's death.
Very good. Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solus. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
Assuming you are who you say you are, how much is a fourth elven god going to complicate things?
Only as much as you may allow.
What? That was like how Elganon and Gillenane can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solus in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solus a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elganon, or Solus?
The last time Mythal faced Elganon and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solus?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. So, there's the soul of an elven god inside you. How does that even happen?
Mythal's last host was my mother, Flemeth.
Oh.
When I learned she intended me to become the next receptacle of an ancient god's soul, I feared naught would be left of my own. It inevitably came to pass on a deep night. I was awakened by the presence of a blaze of magic in the shape of a woman who both was and was not my mother.
This isn't the strangest thing I've heard, but it's close.
'Tis difficult to describe, even now. Mythal's memories were both gift and burden, this blazing woman told me, but I must accept them of my own accord. The decision was paralyzing. What would it mean to become such a host? What would be lost if I refused? In the end, 'twas something in my mother's voice which guided me.
What was that?
Regret. Not the regret of a god, but of a mother who knew she would never see me again. And so, my mind remains my own. What I gained was knowledge, both Mythal's and of those who bore her.
How can you carry Mythal's soul if you're not an elf?
Her spark has sheltered within both elves and humans who were sympathetic to her in thought and circumstance. Mythal's last host was a woman wronged, trapped by those sworn to love her. We may readily imagine their kinship.
You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes, the Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solus?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solus better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solus and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Solus talks a lot about what has to be done, being forced to make hard choices. But it's like he's trying to talk himself into it. I think, deep down, he doesn't entirely believe what he's saying.
'Tis exactly like the old wolf to tie himself into the most intricate knots. 'Tis not malice which made Solus your opponent, but conviction, a belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solus was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
If that's what it takes.
Such determination. Have you not even a tremor of doubt?
Wouldn't do me any good.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solus recovered it from Elganon, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you. Find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal, in addition to the one inside you.
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dirthaman and his brother, Falondine, are but one example.
All of that sounded great until I survived the encounter.
You know Solus, and have seen Elganon, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Algernon and Gellanane, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
If I were to try to talk with her, do you have any suggestions?
She will demand respect, but detest flattery. She appreciates righteous anger, but will not tolerate pity. She is, for want of better phrasing, prickly. But if you are determined to try, then I wish you luck.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solus, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an Alamari chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
What kind of spirit was Mythal before she became an elf? I know Solus is elven for pride.
Mythal enjoyed ruling and having power, but it came not from the overweening desire to crush resistance, as is the case with Algernon. The emotion that inspired her might best be described as benevolence, a guiding hand inclined to kindness. But like any spirit, when angered or twisted against her purpose, a more violent aspect arose. Where the Dreadwolf's wisdom gave way to pride when the world did not meet his standards, Mythal's benevolence gave way to retribution. After all, when kindness fails, the guilty must be punished.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
I only ask that you reflect upon what I have said. The Dreadwolf is not so apart from the world as he thinks. There, you have the advantage of him.
A god's fragment, sharper than the whole, prevail, or be sundered completely.
Getting close to where Morrigan said that other fragment of Mythal was. That has to be her.
A fragment of Mythal herself. We talking or fighting?
Guess we'll find out.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. We made ourselves bodies to be like humans, but I never expected to see humans scurrying about in the Dread Wolf's crossroads. And you know who I am?
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Why are you here? To beg me to give up what remains of myself to help you defeat the monsters Elganan and Gillinane have become? Or do you simply think yourself ready to fight a god?
Morrigan was right. Talking to you is a waste of time.
You listen to the human and the cowardly echo she carries. Pathetic. You desire the essence of a god and think you deserve it. Then take it if you can!
Everyone get ready.
Here we go.
Everyone get ready.
The draconic form is quite Thank you, Emmrich. chakra to Emmrich.
See what you got.
It's ours. The essence of a god. It burns just being near it. This is the power we need to finish this.
Strength requires knowledge. How shall we use it?
I think the moment is coming. When we can turn the tide, we'll know.
With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmrich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
What's the Grand Necropolis like?
Its majesty has stilled the tongues of kings and queens. It's a haven for spirits and the dead. A vast well of history, the duty and shelter of every Watcher. We who serve it are pledged to an eternal vigil.
What do Watchers, watch for?
There are stranger and more dangerous things than spirits in the Fade, Rook. The Watchers stand against them when their shadows rise.
Anything lately?
A few portents I cannot put down solely to the chaos of the elven gods, but nothing definitive, perhaps only shivers in the void.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine, completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
You can get anything out of the dead and they just let you leave Navarra.
My gift has limitations. The dead only know what they did in life. What was clear under the sun is sometimes blurred when I revive them.
Makes sense.
Honestly, some conversations aren't worth the trouble. Death encourages obstinacy.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
Sounds good. Sometimes I miss home too.
Rook, I'm not... well, perhaps a little.
You'll cheer up once we look at some graves? I bet.
The ceremony should be most centering. I'll let you know when it's time.
The fires are lit.
Hey, Harding?
Oh, Rook, hi. Is there something you need?
I thought you might want someone to talk to.
Oh, Rook. That's sweet. I'm fine. Really.
Really? Okay, well, we're all here if you...
Never mind. I can't lie. I feel awful.
It's Solas's memory, isn't it?
They stole Titan blood to walk the world like humans. And when the Titans didn't like that, they just took their spirits. Should I be angry or sad? Why aren't I angrier? It's a lot to handle.
There's really no right way to feel. You've been through a lot.
You're right. Maybe I just need time. And a snack. It's strange. I don't hate Solas for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. Solas was always distant. Guess it's hard to react when a magic rock's talking at you. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
I know. You're Lace Harding, child of Titans. You can handle anything.
Oh, shut up.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Please do. I need to hear an actual voice now and then.
Can't imagine why.
I'm starting to dream that I'm a griffin. Squawk.
Son, it's bad manners to not answer someone.
Right. So what brings you by?
Nice to have a fellow warden on the team. Our paths may not have crossed at Weishaupt, but we have one experience in common.
Ah, the joining.
The moment they handed us a chalice with archdemon blood.
And the moment we took a sip.
What were we thinking?
My head was exploding. You tell me.
I was thinking, what's happening? I'm dead and don't know it.
I did know it, and I was pissed. If I was going to die drinking, why couldn't it be 100-year-old brandy?
The first warden drank it all.
Good times.
Yeah. Though I can't say I've got it all worked out, being a warden.
Feeling lost?
Well, I find out we've secretly raised griffins this whole time, and you get to play with them. How did I miss that meeting?
Nothing personal. I only got called in when the Gloomhowler showed up.
What's the problem with our illustrious leader? Is the first warden always a pain, or is it me?
A bit of both. You know he's all about discipline.
And I'm not.
Well...
Okay, so maybe I like to keep things loose.
And the first warden wants everything lashed down tight. I can see why you might feel a little lost.
Sometimes I think about the calling. You hear stories about other wardens who have left for theirs. Here, Warden. Thanks for your service. Now enjoy the creepy sound in your head.
But don't worry, that's just an archdemon calling out to Darkspawn.
And before you succumb to that nasty blood you drank way back, how about you spend your final days in the deep roads?
And take a few Darkspawn up while you're at it.
Nice knowing you.
Can't imagine why you'd be feeling lost.
The biggest fight we've ever seen is headed our way, and the Grey Wardens are on the sidelines.
You and I are in the thick of it.
Not exactly the army of legend.
Legend in the making. You go to war with the army you have. Weishaupt will come through. Along with a very noisy griffin who'll squawk the enemy to death.
No armor can withstand that.
Don't encourage him.
Won't happen again. See you two around.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Taash, what's going on? Something is clearly bothering you.
My bet's on mothers and dresses.
It's just something my mother said the other day. That I act more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
You wouldn't look stupid in a dress, if that's what you wanted to wear.
I don't want to wear a fucking dress!
Clear and to the point. So, what do you want? Your mother didn't just make you angry. Something she said got its hooks into you. Why?
It feels right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels right. Why does it feel right?
Taash, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
If you don't want to talk about it anymore, we won't. But whatever this is, this team is here for you.
I still don't know what this is.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.